The scene opens in Cappadocia, where an old man named Saint Mias is paraded by a group of people who then stone him. When Mias becomes defenseless, a man picks up a larger stone and strikes him on the head until the saint dies. Centuries later, in 129 AD, Christianity dominates Europe, and the Crusades are underway to reclaim the city of Jerusalem. Meanwhile, the Normans loyal to King John of England are fighting to conquer Ireland, where a sacred reliquary is kept in a small monastery in the remote countryside. We now meet Diarmuid, a young monk, and the Mute, a man found on the beach and helped by Diarmuid. Since he was rescued, he has never spoken, and the other monks have come to call him the Mute. At that moment, Diarmuid and the Mute are on a hill near the monastery when they spot 3 knights approaching. Diarmuid quickly runs to inform the other monks that the knights have arrived. The knights are led by Brother Giraldus, a French monk sent by Pope Innocent in Rome to transport the sacred reliquary. The abbot agrees, as the relic is said to have the power to destroy infidels, ensuring victory in the Crusades. In a twist worthy of Braveheart, but with less blue face paint, the group of monks and knights quickly prepares for the journey. Along the way, they face storms, lightning, and a stubbornly heavy cart that seems unwilling to move. After an incident involving magical river water, Giraldus purifies the water with a prayer and moves on. While crossing a forest, they encounter allied soldiers led by Raymond de Merville. Raymond recognizes the Mute, and they continue the journey to the camp of Baron de Merville, a known devotee. When Giraldus finally reveals the reliquary, it contains the stone used to kill Saint Mias centuries earlier. The next day, they continue the journey but are ambushed by the Ua Morta tribe, who steal the sacred cart. The Mute suddenly reveals a brutal combat skill, fighting the tribe members with notable ferocity. Interestingly, in the 2017 film Pilgrimage, Tom Holland and John Bernthal play major roles in a story that also involves monks and relics. Curiously, during filming, Holland mentioned that one of the most challenging scenes was crossing an icy river, something he certainly wouldn't do in this fictional journey, but he'd applaud the Mute's bravery in protecting the reliquary. Continuing with the story, Giraldus gives a sword to the Mute and asks for his help in tracking the stolen cart. Without wasting time, the 4 follow the cart's trail until the Mute spots a member of the Ua Morta tribe, whom he quickly kills. After a long journey, Giraldus and the others finally find the Ua Morta tribe settlement. Seeing the overwhelming number of enemies, they decide to hide and plan Kieran's rescue and the recovery of the sacred relic at nightfall. When night descends, Diarmuid and the others move stealthily through the darkness to where Kieran is tied up. Sensing their presence, Kieran urges Diarmuid and the others to leave immediately, as he had thrown the sacred stone away before being attacked and captured by the Ua Morta tribe. At that moment, they hear someone approaching and are forced to hide again before they can untie Kieran. Unexpectedly, Raymond and his soldiers arrive to meet with the Ua Morta tribe leader. During the conversation, it is revealed that Raymond and the tribe have been working together to acquire the item brought by Giraldus's group. Raymond wants the sacred stone, while the Ua Morta tribe is after the golden chest used to store the stone. Unfortunately, when the chest is examined, it is empty. Raymond then interrogates Kieran, forcing the monk to reveal the whereabouts of the sacred stone. Kieran remains silent, enraging Raymond, who begins to brutally torture him until he kills him. Giraldus, de Aroyd, and the others are horrified by Raymond's barbaric act. When the situation seems safe, Diarmuid and the others return to the Ua Morta tribe's attack site to search for the sacred stone that Kieran had thrown. By the light of a torch, they manage to find the stone and hurry to avoid Raymond's soldiers who are searching for them. The next day, while Diarmuid's group rests, Cathal begins to lose hope about the sacred journey, feeling that he will not survive Raymond's pursuit. At the same time, they hear the sound of Raymond's troops' trumpets, causing de Aroyd and the others to leave immediately. Feeling cornered, de Aroyd and the others notice a thick fog covering the base of a hill and decide to hide in it. Upon reaching the bottom of the hill, they realize they are in an impassable swamp. Hastily, they try to reach the other side of the swamp to avoid Raymond's troops. Raymond provokes Giraldus until he, furious, reveals his location. Raymond's men shoot arrows towards Giraldus's voice, but he narrowly escapes and stealthily moves to another location for shelter. Desperate, de Aroyd holds the sacred stone and walks through the swamp until, miraculously, they find 2 men with a boat on the other side. With no other choice, Giraldus pays the 2 boatmen to take them out of the area. Following the river, they finally reach the sea, but as the tide is low, they need to wait until night to continue their journey. Unfortunately, this plan fails when Raymond's knights arrive on the beach, forcing de Aroyd and the others to push the boat into the sea immediately. In a panic, Giraldus asks the mute to hold off Raymond's forces to protect the sacred relic they carry. Giraldus promises the mute that if he succeeds, all his sins from the Crusades will be forgiven by God. Wanting to atone for his sins, the mute confronts Raymond and his men alone. Meanwhile, Giraldus and the others still try to push the boat into the sea when Raymond's soldiers shoot arrows, killing one of the boatmen. Sometime later, the mute begins to fight Raymond's soldiers, quickly defeating them with his combat experience. Seeing this, Raymond faces the mute with his mace, overpowering him. At the same time, the mute bites Raymond's neck, resulting in both their deaths. In the final scenes, Cathal, who had been hit by an arrow, dies and falls into the sea, while Giraldus declares that the sacred relic will only cause more violence and decides to sink it, but ends up falling and sinking with it. The surviving boatman asks de Armuid where they should go, but he does not answer. This film was shot in the beautiful landscapes of Ireland and features an epic fight by Mads Mikkelsen. I would never blindly trust silent allies. I would plan ambushes better, avoiding surprise arrow attacks. Don't forget to check out the other videos on the channel. Stay well, and see you next time.
And I gotta tell you, it was perfect.